morning and welcome to the Stahls TV Morning Show. I'm Courtney and I'll be your host today as we go over part 2 of Viewer's Choice episode. So if you were lucky enough to join us last week live for the morning show, you got to actually choose from some of our Stahls TV educators what you wanted to see. So in the episode, you'll be able to view that actually at stahlstv.com under the morning show, but we battled it out with some of the other educators to show you guys 2 ways that you can reach a really popular trend. What we saw in the episode was we got to see what you guys really wanted to see from the morning show, but also a lot of you were torn and you wanted to be able to see both applications because both of them presented a lot of sales opportunities for different markets. So today, in part 2, we're actually going to show you what's considered the losers of last week's episode. So we're going to show you, while they were losers in the battle, they are still big winners and you're able to really grow sales with these. So we want to be able to show you how to leverage them and how to use them in your business. So let's review the winners from last week's battle to start. So in the first battle, myself and Jenna, one of the Stahls TV educators, actually showed you 2 different ways you can create full color glitter. So we pitted against each other a sublimated glitter flake, which is a really popular trend that has just been kind of growing in the spirit wear and retail market. And then also being able to take a full color image and adding a pop of glitter. So sublimated glitter, as you're seeing on the screen, was by far the most popular trend that we're seeing because it's brand new. But what we're seeing a lot in the retail market is just being able to take a full color image, a full color logo, and add glitter to it. So this opportunity that you guys saw last week really opens up not only to printers that are using cad-cut glitter flake and allowing them to now have a full color option, but it's also allowing them to, those of you that are sublimators or are doing sublimation, to be able to print on dark colors and cotton fabric. So what you were seeing and what we decorated was actually 100% black cotton t-shirt. So this was of course a really popular trend, but if you shop like I like to do in a lot of the retail stores, you've noticed that glitter, while it's still very popular in its full color form, is also taking on a new trend for a lot of school logos. And so if you've looked at Victoria's Secret, of Justice, and a lot of those really trendy female-focused stores, we're starting to see pops of glitter within the full color transfer. And so we're going to show you how to create this look for customization for low quantities for schools by taking a full color digital transfer with cad-cut glitter flake. So stay tuned, we're going to show you guys that here shortly. The second winner that we actually had in our Viewer's Choice episode was being able to create a knockout design. So this is a really popular trend that we've seen with spirit wear, as well as you're taking a clip art image, whether that's a heart or a mascot, and actually punching it through and knocking it out through the text that you're seeing how to create this. So this was a really popular pick amongst the viewers against monograms. So if you want to see how to create this look, of course the video is live at stahlstv.com. Walks you through how to do that with CADWorks Live. CADWorks Live is a free online designer, and so for today's episode, we're going to show you the other choice that you guys had, which was how to create monograms like this to put on a variety of items. And so I think it's a perfect time of year for us to talk about monograms with the holidays right around the corner. So we're going to show you how you can use that free online designer, CADWorks Live, to create glitter, foils, and different finishes with monograms and fast personalizing different items like this. The final battle that we saw was actually between Nelson and Josh. So 2 Stahls TV educators and Josh, one of our hosts here at the morning show, showed us how to personalize add-on sales. So of course, we always want to sell more to every customer that came in, and you guys decided you wanted to see this new popular trend of personalizing flat bill hats with a t-shirt press. And so we showed you how to do that. The other option is being able to personalize shoes. While hats are very popular for schools and sports, of course, everybody wears shoes. So we're going to show you today how to personalize pretty much any style of shoe with heat transfer materials and being able to add them to your sales and really increase the opportunity there from each one of your customers. So we have a jam-packed morning. I'm excited to show you guys a lot of these new ways and a lot of these choices that you guys had showed us last week you wanted to see. So I'll head over to the heat press and we'll walk through the first loser in our battle from the Stahls TV morning show last week. So that was, of course, again, taking that full color digital transfer and adding in a pop of glitter. So this is really popular. I was actually at a sporting event a couple of weeks ago for a local high school. It was one of their football teams, and I noticed when the cheerleaders walked by, the logo of the school actually is a 3-color logo, and they had pops of glitter in just areas of the design that really made that certain part of the design stand out. So that just opens up a whole new opportunity to take this retail-inspired logo and start printing it for our schools with heat transfers. So I'll load this onto my heat press. I'm just using an 11 by 15 platen. Preheat to get some of the moistures and wrinkles out like we do for all applications. Then I'm going to switch to my other camera so you guys can see as I start to line up this transfer and how all of that kind of comes together. So this is a full color digital transfer in CAD Color Express Print. So if you have a solvent or eco-solvent printer, you can certainly print these kind of transfers in-house. They're very fast for personalizing items inexpensively because they're quick for one-offs. I'm going to actually take this transfer, which normally applies at 320 degrees for 15 seconds, and just tack it down for 5 seconds. Anytime I do a multicolor design, whether it's with a full color digital transfer like this or just a single color cad-cut material, I like to tack down the background layer. That allows me to peel back this Mylar and get my transfer down to the shirt, but reduces any shrinking that can happen under the heat press. So when I go to line up this glitter transfer, it's going to make it really easy for me to do, and you guys can kind of see how that lines and drops right exactly down in there. I am going to cover this with a cover sheet just to protect that glitter from sticking to anything. And now for those of you that have used cad-cut glitter flake or saw in last week's episode, we normally apply it at 320 degrees for 10 seconds. Just like with that first layer, I'm going to tack this for only 2 quick seconds. So I'm just going to lock my heat press down. Once those 2 seconds are up, I'm going to peel the carrier. And the reason I'm doing this is because this carrier, you can see, actually has a line going through my transfer. So I'm trying to avoid any indentation marks. I'm also trying to avoid any glitter particle that traditionally is on the glitter flake carrier from transferring over to this CAD Color Express Print transfer. Cover the whole thing up. I'm going to seal it for the full application. That way everything sticks and stays and is durable, which is going to be full 15 seconds. Once that's complete, we'll have a full color design. So it's really easy to create these full color images with pops of glitter, so you're not limited to just single color glitter designs. You can find unique ways to mix them into your full color transfers. Of course, if you're doing this on a larger scale, or you have the capabilities to do a directed garment print for your full color and overlay that with CAD Color Glitter Flake or cad-cut glitter flake, that's an option as well. So I'll get you guys a quick look at that. I'll switch back to my main camera so you can see me holding it up to get the full effect. But if you're printing right now for schools, this specifically I think is a really popular design to be able to take that full color logo and add a pop of color to it. If you're printing for businesses, for promotional product companies, this is just another way to take that logo and make it really stand out with glitter. So more ways for full color glitter. This works great as well as the sublimated glitter we showed you guys last week. So in our battle versus Josh and Nelson, of course I had mentioned that Nelson showed you how to print the underside bill of the hat, but personalizing shoes is another great opportunity. So we're going to show you how to do that for a variety of markets. So obviously you can print it and add a name and number for an athletic shoe for any team sport, add that to the team jersey sale. You could also sell it to, say, schools. And so we're seeing this really popular trend where students are putting their saying or their name or their nickname on the athletic shoe, and so it allows you to open up a whole new market that you weren't thinking of selling to before when you're selling your spirit wear. If you're selling to dance schools, think about the opportunities with adding glitter. All the same principles apply. What I need to do is I need a platen that allows me to print this shoe, because of course if I lay this on here, no matter which way I swing it, it's not going to work. So I need to switch out my 11 by 15 platen with what's called a shoe platen. So I'll lay that to the side, and I'm just going to drop in my shoe platen, and that just falls in with one quick twist of my gold knob here, locks in place, and now I'm able to take my shoes and load them on. Make sure I get the right shoe and the right application there. Load that shoe in place. One thing I always do when I load my shoes on is I do want to make sure that I'm getting a flat print area. So before I cut my transfers, I do usually load my shoes on, get a good feel to make sure I'm getting a flat area on the shoe. And then I'll size it, usually taking a ruler to make sure I know how big my design needs to be. So once I have my shoes loaded on and in place, I'm going to line up my transfer. You can get creative with what you want to show. So if you want to show a number, maybe from a race or a player's number, you could do so. If you want to add initials, a lot of people actually do two separate print. So they're adding one to the left and one to the right to add different personalization on there. So I'm going to load those on. This material is 3M reflective. It has a little bit of a sticky backing, so it'll hold into place. If you're just looking for a regular matte finish, cad-cut fashion film works great as well with the sticky backing. If you're worried about it sliding, what I'm using here is actually a heat seal tape. So you can actually take the tape, which is designed to be able to hold transfers down over the heat press, and tape those transfers in place. That way they're not going to slide. Now, before I lock this down with the heat press, one very important thing to remember is that all shoes are made of some kind of synthetic material. Whether they are athletic shoes or canvas shoes, all of them have some kind of silicone or rubber that's on the shoe that can melt under the high heat of the heat press. This is set at 320 degrees. So I'm actually going to cover my shoes completely with a flexible application pad. What that's going to do is help to protect my shoe from scorching under the high heat of the heat press. So if you ever use 3M reflective, it actually applies at 320 degrees for 15 seconds. I'm going to lock this down actually for 320 degrees for 30 seconds, and I'm just adjusting my pressure to make sure I get a good pressure on the shoe there. That way it'll stick and stay. So anytime you add the flexible application pad over to your transfer, whether you're applying this to shoes or using it on a performance or a leather material, the rule of thumb is always to increase or double the time, but leave the temperature as is. So I've left the temperature at my heat press at 320 degrees, but I've doubled my time from 15 seconds upwards to 30 seconds, and that's going to allow me to make sure enough heat goes down through the flexible application pad down to my shoes and gives me a nice durable application. Peel that back there. And I'm going to switch camera angles as well so you guys can see as I'm peeling this, I think. There we go. I'm just peeling off the heat seal tape that I used to hold that down, as well as the carrier. And then we've got two personalized shoes. And the reflective is just one of the different finishes that you can create with the shoe platen and heat transfers from Stahls, but also, of course, matte finishes work if you're looking for something like cad-cut fashion film. Glitter flake is also a popular one, so if you're printing for a variety of dance schools, cheer squads, think about taking some really unique canvas shoes and just adding personalization with cad-cut glitter flake as well. All the principles apply. You want to make sure to load your shoes on, size your design, hold it down in place with maybe a heat seal tape so it doesn't shift, cover with this flexible application pad, and you've got a completed print. So it's really easy to do. The amount of money you can make from this as well, because of course you're looking at maybe 10 cents in material, 40 cents maybe for a glitter or a 3M reflective, but you're able to sell these for maybe $10 more for personalizing the shoes. So new sales opportunities, think about how to add those to your business and to your market. That's one way to do it. So that was the second choice. The third one I'm actually going to head over to my computer for, and we're going to show you artwork. So how to create those monograms. Again, another way to start adding personalization and logos with heat transfer materials and your heat press. So I'm going to head over to the computer now so we can work on doing that. So for this, we're using CADWorks Live, and CADWorks Live is the free online designer from Stahls. If you haven't seen it yet, I really encourage you to take a look at the website, play around with it. If you're like myself, I'm not a big designer, so it allows me to create logos and images and really great prints for apparel just by using this site. So it's really great, especially for sending to the vinyl cutter. So I'm going to head over to CADWorks. We'll switch the screen, and we're going to look at three ways really to create monograms. The first two are going to be from scratch using cadworkslive.com. So with the from scratch method, I'm actually going to start by just adding text to my design. So on the left hand side of your screen, you're going to see all of the different areas of CADWorks Live, adding clip art, adding text, using templates. I'm going to start by adding text. So with monograms, of course, there's different text options you have available. There's very bold prints in a basic font, and there's also script font. So the first one I'm going to show you is going to be a bold basic font. If you're creating this in CADWorks Live, you do want to make sure that the last initial is going to fall into the center, because just like with monogramming, traditionally the first and the middle initial go on the side, and your center initial is usually your last name. So I'm going to set this up with my own initials, CKM, and I'm going to select my font. Now, one font that I find in here that I really like for this application is the Blue Highway Condensed. So I'm just going to go over into my fonts folder under Basic, and then I can search through the font that I like. The reason I like this Blue Highway Condensed is it creates that very bold, narrow font that I really like for monograms. And this is really popular for monograms for men's apparel or monograms for gifting, especially if you have a bold material that you're using like cad-cut glitter flake, where you want that glitter to stand out a little bit more than it would with a script. Once I have my font selected, I want to add an effect. So I'm going to go down here to the bottom of my text editor, add effect, and I'm actually going to add a bookend. So you can see all of the fonts that are available. The bookend is going to allow me to have the option to take that center initial, which is my K, and make it much larger than the ones in the size. Now, of course, with monograms, the first and middle initial are traditionally a little bit larger, so I can adjust that over here into my bookend specs. I'm going to take the horizontal and the vertical both to 70, and that's going to adjust my letters to the way I really want them to look. Once I have that set, I'll click OK, and that'll drop it down onto my screen. Now, if you want to edit your monogram in any way, maybe you want to move these letters closer to the K, or you want to make them a little bit larger, and you weren't able to do that or didn't know how to do that with the right sizing in the bookends, I can actually go up to shaping, break apart by regions, and it'll allow me to move these letters as individual ones. So I can put them wherever I really want them to be. If I want them to drop down lower, maybe one up higher, I can really move them to however I would like them to. Next, I'm going to add my clip art just to make one more quick change to this monogram and complete it. And to do that, I'm actually going to just select a circle, and I can search for that using the search bar at the top, or I could actually go into shapes and I could select it from there. Now, as you're doing this, keep in mind that you can upload any clip art image you have on your computer or any one you'd like to use. So if you have a specific diamond or flower font that you want to use with your monograms, you can upload those into CADWorks Live as well. I'm just going to select this circle, put it over my monogram, and then I can resize it down to fit. And again, this is a really good opportunity for personalizing gifts or men's apparel with this very bold, thick font. The second option we're going to show you is how to create them with a script font. So again, I'm going to go up to my add text, put in my same initials, and this time I'm going to select a script font. Now in CADWorks Live, there are a variety of script fonts that are available. You can scroll through these and see if you get one that kind of looks the way you want it to. Another option, just like adding your own clip art, is you can add your own fonts by selecting this upload font button down at the bottom. I've actually uploaded some that I had purchased, so if you purchase a monogram font, you could bring it in here and edit it, or you can sometimes find them free. I'm always looking for free fonts, so I actually downloaded a free monogram font from dafont.com, so it was dafont.com. And then when I select that font, it's going to then create my design. I'll go back into Add Effect, add my bookend. And I can adjust these again, however I would like to have the lettering to show up in the vertical font or the vertical sizing that I would like them to. So that creates my font in a script way. And again, that font was just a free font downloaded from dafont.com. Again, I can add an oval, I could add a heart, and I can really complete this into one font. So far we have two options for creating fonts. One question I always get, and I may have already gotten it today, I'm not sure, but it's usually that, how do I create those fonts where the letters themselves become a circle? And right now, the way I've always done it is I use a Monogram Maker, which is a separate website, so I'll click over to that here on my screen. It's just at marketgram.com. They have a Monogram Maker where you can actually make your mark and personalize monograms. So I'll actually create mine there by entering my initials. So this time I'm entering as CMK instead of CKM. And I can select the style that I want. So there's a few styles that are available. I'm going to go ahead and select the one that it creates that unique circle effect that I'm looking for. Now you'll notice here it has an option to save and share. This is actually just going to allow me to click into and emailing it by myself. So what I like to do is just take a snip of it using a snipping tool on my computer. That way I can save it down very quickly to my computer. So I'm going to open my snipping tool, take a quick picture of that from the site, which then creates my JPEG image. In CADWorks Live, you can take any image and import it in and vectorize it. So if you have a monogram like this or you have any logo, you can do that with this software. I'm going to save this down to my desktop. I'll just save it as monogram. And then I'm going to jump back into CADWorks Live and up to File, Import, and Vectorize. And this is where I'm going to bring in that Monogram logo or any image by bringing the JPEG in and vectorizing it. So I'll browse that from my computer, open it up, and when you vectorize in CADWorks Live, it asks you to pull out two areas. So you have your background of your design. Traditionally, this is either white or transparent, so mine's white. And then it's going to ask me to pull out the foreground color. So it allows you to select up to 9. I should only need 1 because it looks like the whole design is a solid black. If you have a high quality image, of course it vectorizes much better. Once I click next, it comes up to my vectorized screen, so I can make some adjustment to the curves or the region resolution to make the lines a little bit cleaner or come together a little bit better. Once I have it to where I'd like it to be, I'll click OK, and I've now created my complete design ready to go, all ready to cut on the cutter. So these are just 3 ways that you can create monograms. One thing I forgot to mention, I do want to make sure to mention, if you do use a script font and I switch this to wireframe, you're going to notice that the lettering actually will cut through each other. So if you select that script image and go up to shaping weld, now these are all reading as one. So it's going to allow you to cut and weed these very easily because it's all reading as one image and not cutting into each other. So that kind of concludes how to create monograms with CADWorks Live and concludes our Viewer's Choice episode. So of course, we always like to hear from our viewers. So Taylor, do I have any questions that have came in on any of the 3 choices we've shown them today?
Yes, we have a couple questions. The first one is, what formats of clip art can be uploaded?
The formats of clip art are actually a whole wide range. So if you have raster images, you can upload JPEGs, PNG files, anything like that. If you have a vector file, you can also import SVG files, PDFs, and any kind of really vector artwork. Other questions?
Yes. Where do you get the snipping tool?
The snipping tool is actually a secret tool that is on every computer. It's one that I hadn't known about for a long time, but it's great. So you can actually search for that in your search bar on your computer, or if you go into your computer accessories, it's usually right underneath there. So it's actually right there along with all those unique tools like your character map and your notepad and all that stuff.
And can you repeat the CADWorks website, please?
Sure. It's cadworkslive.com. So cadworkslive.com.
Our question just came in. What materials can glitter flake be printed on?
Glitter flake works well on any cotton or polyester or blend of the two. So it works on basically any t-shirt. All right, great on questions. All right, so before we conclude this morning show, we're looking forward to seeing you guys next week. We'll have some interviews from the SGIA show that Josh and Zach are just coming back from. In addition to that, we love to hear from you guys. This was great because we got to get feedback on what you wanted to see on products and trends that you really think are going to help to grow your business. So if you have some more ideas of things you'd like to see on upcoming morning shows from us, we'd like to hear from you in the survey after the morning show, and you can type those in there. Thanks for watching.